Alright guys, I want to do a video on Shyla. She's not here anymore. That was where Waco was for a little while. And now he's here. He's also not owned by Amber anymore, as I said in his update video. He's owned by Shyla Rescue. But I wanted to do... Hi, buddy! Don't drool on me, please. You like to do that. But so Shyla's not here anymore. And I was going to do a farewell video, but I didn't get around to doing it. I was too busy last weekend. So I figured I'd just show you guys Waco while he eats, because it'd be boring for me to just talk about this. And I figured I'd put it on Waco just because he's the other guy that may or may not be leaving, simply for the fact that if we don't find somebody who wants to lease him or help out Amber, then he's going back to Shyla. But if we can find someone to lease him, oh, heard something, then he'll be staying here. But he's only staying here until his foot gets better, or until we find someone who will lease him and keep him here. That's the big thing, is that they have to stay here, because Jill Curtis, I don't know what her new name is now because she just got married, but I know that it's Jill Curtis, who owns Shyla, said that he can stay here, but he can't go anywhere else except for Shyla. But anyhow, so Kendall took Shyla on Monday, which would have been the 17th, so St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, so she took her horse back to another barn. What are you hearing, bud? What are you hearing? Sorry for the glare, guys. My camera doesn't like to transition with light very well. But so she took him, or her, to another barn because she needed help with turning her horse out. And she wasn't getting the turnout that she wanted here or something or other. She needed help with her horse because her horse is a thoroughbred and she doesn't get to see it. She sees her horse about as much as I see my horse, which is only 2 days, which I hate. I absolutely hate that. I wish I would be able to be here every single day, but I can't because I have school. And it's like, it's not that she just doesn't want to come out. It's she has work and she's a paramedic, so she has to be on call. And she's doing schooling, so she's busy. But she has a thoroughbred, so it needs more work. That's why she half leases with Daisy, who owned Shyla prior to her. And the reason why Daisy doesn't still own her is because she went through a divorce, and she didn't have the money or the time for Shyla anymore, and that like broke her heart. So when Kendall said that she wanted to half lease with somebody, Daisy jumped up and said, I wanted to do it. Because she loved Shyla. She sat with Shyla in her stall all night while Shyla colicked. So she's dedicated to the horse. It was just unfortunate that she couldn't take care of it anymore, but it's great that they can both lease together. But I got to talk to Kendall. There we go. I'm mixing up names now. I talked to Kendall on Saturday of last week, which was the 15th. That was the day that we were moving, and I was here forever, which is fine. Not complaining if that sounded complaining to anybody. I like being here, so spending an entire day here was great. But so we got to talking, and she told me that she needed more help with turnout, which you can tell Susan and Larry, hey, I want my horse turned out at this, like, I want my horse turned out during the day. Can you do that for me? And most of the time they will. I mean, they turn my horse out for me all the time. And sometimes they even put her out with Rocky. I mean, Larry's taken Bugsy out for a ride if he knows that she's getting to the point where she's like, I need to do something, which that's fine and all. He tells me that he's going to do that. And he said to me when I moved in here that, you know, I at some point probably will be taking your horse out. So that, I don't see why that was an issue, but, you know, if that's an issue for her, then that's fine. And then she was also saying that the barn was closer to her house, so she could be there more often, things like that, which is great. That's lovely. That's why I wanted to go to the other barn that was closer to my house, but I couldn't because things didn't work out, which I'm fine being here. It was just more convenient, I guess, to go there because it was so much closer. But anyhow, so she was also talking to me about how it's unfortunate that Shyla doesn't respond to her as well as she responds to Daisy. Now, Kendall is the actual owner. She's the one that took over Shyla. And Daisy had her way before that, as I said. But Kendall can't get Shyla to do things because she's not. I don't want to say that she's not a leader. I just want to say that she's not a good leader. I don't know if either one of those sound any better than the other, but Kendall doesn't have as firm of a hand with Shyla as she should. Shyla likes to test boundaries and see what she can get away with. And I worked with Shyla for a day or two. Bless you. And she did everything that I asked her to do. She was very responsive, very good. But I could see if you didn't have a firm background on working with horses and you don't have a firm hand with them, then I could see how you would have problems with that horse. My friend Kirsten, who I taught how to ride horses, she probably couldn't work with Shyla. She also can't work with Bugsy because she doesn't have a firm hand. I have to have a firm hand with my horse because she likes to test boundaries and see what she can get away with. She's a Mustang. That's what they do. All horses do that. It's just some are more prone to doing it. Shyla was one of those horses that was more prone to doing it. So she wasn't being a bad horse or anything like that. It was just Kendall didn't have a firm hand with Shyla, and Daisy did. So Daisy got the better horse. It's the same horse, but Daisy's getting the better horse. If that makes any sense to anybody, which is why I don't like leasing, especially half leasing, because problems like this arise. The person who can't get the horse to do stuff gets annoyed and frustrated because the other person is getting the horse to do everything they ask, because that person doesn't know what they're doing. Now, if you have two people who know what they're doing, half leasing is fine. Like, I've had friends who were both exactly the same with what they did with horses and exactly the same when it comes to disciplining horses, and they half leased together and they were fine. But when you get two people who have totally different backgrounds with horses together, and one is less capable than the other, you're going to have problems, which is why I don't like half leasing. Leasing, I don't have as big of a problem with, just because most of the time when you lease a horse, you don't ever see the owner. So, or if you do, it's only to see them to give them the paycheck for the month. But anyhow, guys, because I've had some people where you have to pay the leasing person, not the barn. But, I don't know. That was like one case. But anyhow, guys, so, like I said, sorry I couldn't have Shyla here, but I just couldn't do the video with her. I was way too busy last weekend doing stuff. But, anyhow, guys, I will be doing a birthday haul thing, because I had my birthday on Wednesday, which was the 19th. And I will be trying to do a all of my horse stuff tour type video, if I ever get the chance to do it. It's a lot of stuff, and it'll take a long time to get everything set up. So, I'll see you guys in the next video.